Hey guys, I'm going to introduce you to using PalloysConnect in Rhino as a more efficient method for uploading your files to us. It adds some benefits over the standard file upload, which you're used to. Currently, you're able to send us 6 items at a time. You're not able to give us a description per item. You also have file size limitations on what can be uploaded. All right. So PalloysConnect follows exactly the same format as the website. It is literally the website inside of Rhino 3D, but it comes with the benefits that come with Rhino 3D. All right, so I'm going to just navigate out of here. You need to go to rhino3d.com/download, and then you can grab Rhino 8 for Windows evaluation. It lasts for 3 months, 90 days. So it should be ample time for you to figure out if this is a workflow for you or not. All right, I'm going to minimize that page. Um, your your drawers would be sending you these STL files, and you can kind of view them when you bring them on the web page, but what you can't see is if you have problems in them or not. So we looked after that in PalloysConnect. When you fire up Rhino 8 the first time, mine will be a little bit different because I use it a lot. You should be looking at a screen fairly similar to this. Probably I'm in dark mode, yours might be in light mode. It's going to fire up with these kind of four little preview screens that you're looking at. I'm going to get through navigation in a section, but let's first install the PalloysConnect software. So Rhino is now installed. We want to connect our software. On the very top navigation, yours will probably be a little bit smaller, something like that. You've got a command line. So click in the command line and start typing the command package manager. Okay. When that's open, in the online section, search for Palloys, and you should see the Palloys one. So this top one over here, PalloysConnect, this is a very old version for Rhino 5. You're in Rhino 8, you want this top one over here, version 1060 currently. Make sure you're on the latest version and just click install. Mine is already installed, so I'm not going to do that again. Once you've got it installed, you'll be able to run a new command called PalloysConnect. But before we do that, let's talk about how you get your files from your drawers and how you can view them in Rhino, how you can navigate the viewports in Rhino. So there's two different ways to bring the file in. We're going to assume that your drawer is sending you STL files like this. So the one way to get them in is dead simple. Just drag and drop and click import. All right, the other way to do is to do that manually via the import menu. You go File, Import, in this case it's on my desktop, and import it. It doesn't really matter how you get it in there as long as it comes in. Obviously, to me, it's simpler to just drag and drop. All right. So the first thing you'll notice is you can't really see what's going on. That's because you've imported unshaded mesh, a pure manufacturing mesh, and so you need to be able to see it. The first thing is it's difficult to see because it's so small. You don't need all these different views, so let's navigate to one view first of all. So you'll see as I click in the different viewports, their names are highlighting blue, front, right, top, perspective. I would suggest using perspective, all right? So bring your mouse up to where it says perspective, double click it. Okay, so now you've got one big viewport. If you need to navigate through the rest, you can still do it along the bottom here. Generally speaking, our admins work in perspective. They don't need to move out of it. The next thing is how to get to see this geometry properly. So again, go up to the word perspective, right click it, and look for rendered. Okay, now you can see the ring properly. So now we're able to start working with stuff. So this is a two-piece assembly that your drawer has sent you. There's a collet and there's a shank. All right. If you don't see this manipulator and you need it, you can go to Gumball and turn it on or off. I like it on because it allows me to move stuff, right? So I'm going to grab your collet and I'm going to move it up away from the ring just to make sure there's no problems in there. Now let's talk about navigation. Your middle mouse roller will zoom in and zoom out. It's also point sensitive. So that means if you want to look at this prong, hover your mouse over it and then roll. And you'll see that it zooms to the prong. So same thing, if you want to see the bottom of that, you can zoom in and you can zoom out. Want to see the top of that, hold my mouse over it and zoom in and zoom out. So it's context sensitive to where you're zooming. All right. Second thing is right mouse button will rotate your viewport. Okay. And right mouse button plus shift will pan the viewport. These controls can also be found under the view or display menu, set view, I think it is. And you can see there's a pan. So you can grab the pan and you can pan the object around, or you can grab the manipulator and turn it around. To me, the shortcuts are just easier. So I like to zoom in. If you get lost and you want to just find something, just zoom back out and then you can find your zoom. All right. Now let's talk about how you get the file to us. Now that you've seen it from your drawer, you can see the file, you can look around and you're happy with the file, you want to now send it to us. Time to run the command PalloysConnect. So anytime you start typing in Rhino, it assumes you're typing in a command, and you'll see that I didn't have to actually click inside here. I'm going to get that out again. You can see I'm clicked in the viewport, I start typing, and you'll see that it enters the command on the command line. So just click on the word PalloysConnect. All right, so the login screen, this is exactly the same login you use to get onto the web page. You just put your details inside here and click submit. All right, so now you'll start to notice a few things the same as the web page. You have 6 parts you can upload. It's asking you for a carat of the part and how many, or metal purity of the part and the quantity of the part. So this should be, you should recognize this from the website, right? Except we have a little bit more power. So I'm going to assume for the purposes of this video, this is 14 white and this is 14 yellow. And I'm going to add the components the same as you do the website. So highlight the component that you want, click on add part. It turned orange. Okay. If nothing disappeared here, if everything is still correct, all right, all you got to do is press enter. All right, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Let's grab the shank and let's enter it over here. So you see that you've got 4 prongs, and a shank. Let's grab the shank and let's add it to the second box. Okay. When it got to orange here, if anything disappeared, all right, if any of the components disappeared, like a prong disappeared, it means there was a geometry error. What this orange is doing is it's busy remeshing the entire component for us. We'll just press enter to get rid of that. It's busy remeshing the entire component for us so we can see what it is. I'm going to add that part again so you can see what's happening. All right, so you can see what it does. It kind of merges all the geometry, gets rid of all the little small holes that cause breakaway. It kind of fixes up the geometry for us. If you're happy with it and nothing disappeared or nothing crazy happened to it, you can just press enter. All right, so now you've got the 2 boxes inside there. Let's start selecting what we want. We want to add 14 white gold for this one, and we want 14 yellow gold for this one. And you can see that you have a quantity of 1 in each of those. You have a manufacturing fee, which is just the print and the cast. So if this was raw cast, that would be your manufacturing fee. You have a weight and an alloy price, so a total cost to produce this component via print to raw cast rat, not flat rate rat, right? This doesn't do flat rate. If you needed more parts, you just keep going down and add more parts up to a maximum of 6 parts, the same as the web page. All right. To pass the order to us, you're going to see the advantage on the next page. Click on order, click on order summary. All right. So you're able to pass us on the web page only a reference. In this case, if you're doing flat rate, I'd say let's put a capital flat rate in there, and then your normal reference, which is Mrs. Smith. I apologize, I don't know what your references normally look like, something like that, right? Let's assume on this piece you needed a 6.5 millimeter lab, and over here you needed 4 by 3x2 lab marquee. Right, so you can pass those messages to us on a per part basis. Oh, not lab. If I could type, I'd be a millionaire. You're able to pass all these references to us for up to 6 different parts. All right, that's a lot more information than you can pass by the website. The other advantage is there's no file size limitation, where on the website you have a 30 meg limitation, and or it starts crashing your cart. Yeah, you're not going to have that problem. So what you've got to do then is you've got to click on place the order. It's going to ask you to send. You can just go confirm, and upload a screen will show. Please don't close the screen until you see a PDP number show up inside here. Right, so once the PDP number shows up, you're able to actually find that on the website immediately. So we've got PDP, let's copy that order number. All right, and okay. So if you go to the website now, let's minimize this. And go back to Palloys. If you go to My Palloys, My CAD Designs, and you search for that CAD number, you will see that it's already on the website. Flat rate, Mrs. Smith with all the parts. It also immediately notifies to the team in the back end. Okay, so all your messages, everything else you gave us here, will show up in our Rhino when we load the part. So yeah, and then again, you can just move on to the next component. So what I'd recommend in between these two is to just close this window. All right, and then you can just type in new, no, small objects, and start again. So you can refresh. I would go file new each time you do it. You'll see if you pull up PalloysConnect the second time, you don't have to log in. So once per session, it's happy to work and submit the next job. Okay, guys, I hope that was useful. And I think you're going to find this quite easy to use. It's not as complex as it sounds or looks. Thank you. Cheers.